Chamath, Oprah and Elon, Part 2. So a phone call came in during the middle of Part 1, so it cut it off. So I guess that happens automatically on Anchor. So I'll continue it here now. So I was talking about Elon and how he lives from first principles thinking. You can solve problems much better if you are not beholden to pre-existing paradigms of societies or industry construction. That's called original thinking, original thought. I mean, Warren Buffett spends a lot of his day just thinking, and I think we become so much a prisoner to external stimuli like TV, radio, other people, that we don't have enough time just to spend on our own thinking. Like, people get bored, but if you analyze and just reflect on your own thoughts, just let them come to you, just watch them and sort them out. If you meditate on a problem and you meditate in generally, solutions will come. That's why sleep is important. Like, you probably heard those famous expressions like eureka. People were thinking about a problem and they slept on it. They woke up with a solution, or it occurred to them in the shower, or, if you put something away and come back to it like a manuscript, you come back to it later, maybe in a week or a month or a year, you have all these fresh insights. Because what happens is the brain has connections like with neurons, and once you learn new things, then you can connect new material to the old material, and you can look at the old material in fresh ways. That's why exponentials are so important, because we live in the world of convergence. So getting back to Elon, he connects different fields. Like, he connects, space and transportation and energy and artificial intelligence. And Elon's really a master in terms of like connecting the dots, in terms of convergence, because these things are all working together. That's what's called synergy. Synergy is an overused term, but Musk really employs it. Like, if you understand how A and B and C and D are all interrelated, then you can get the maximum benefits of them working together. It's kind of like a team. Like, if the offensive tackle is great and the running back is great, but they're not working in sync, it doesn't help, because, the offensive tackle, if he's blocking to the right, and the quarterback is, just sitting there doing nothing or moving in a different direction, it's not as, the pieces have to move together. And Elon is a master at, he understands how robots and humans can work together. He understands how, both EQ and IQ. So I was thinking in a more general terms, in terms of like working with these three individuals, Chamath, Oprah, and Elon, like what contributes to that. I think being on the same level, because things, like if you have money in your pocket and you want to buy a Tesla, then it comes together, because the idea of buying the Tesla and the product of the Tesla, anything that's in frequency, in harmony, comes together. Like if you turn to a certain radio station, it comes together. If you turn to an emotion, it attracts, like that, whether it be love or indifference or, anger or whatever it is, that emotion. So everything is frequency. So to work with Elon and Oprah is a certain frequency. That's why I watch their videos, so I learn more about what they're doing, and also like their mental frequency. Like, what is Oprah thinking about? What is Elon thinking about? What's important to them? How does that relate to what's important to me? What's the synergy there? Just like the players on the football team have to be in synergy, the basketball team, people in a business have to be in synergy. Like, if there's a great synergy between what Elon is doing and what I'm doing, or what Chamath is doing, then there's a natural fit there, because like the pieces fit together. Like Chamath's work and my work overlap. We're working in ways that complement each other, that help each other. And I spend a lot of time thinking, because thoughts are power. Like, have you ever like just had someone's pop into your mind? There's a good chance that they may be thinking about you. And if you think about them, like, thoughts are things, because like everything that you do first started out as a thought. If you don't think thoughts are things, why do you do things? You do things because you're thinking about them, and thought is not always conscious. Like, you could be thinking about things unconsciously. That's why people go to therapy, because I used to be a therapist for a long time. Like, I think it could be very helpful, but you have to be open to it. Like anything else, it's a tool. If you're not open to it, it doesn't help that much. People could go to therapy for years and they're like, oh, this is a bunch of rubbish. they don't get that much out of it. Because if your mind is closed, it's not going to help you that much. Like even if you go to the doctor and they give you medicine, if you don't take it, so, and obviously medicine can have sometimes a placebo effect as well in some cases. So, getting back to Elon and Oprah, and there's a certain life force that each person has, and they express it in their work and they express it in their thinking, and you have to be in touch and harmony. That's why, companies talk about culture, because culture is just really, an accumulation and a targeting of that life force. It could be innovation, it could be, growth mindset, it could be, different forms of productivity. It could be an analytical approach. It could be customer focus. It could be first principles thinking. These are all energies. These are all frequencies. And when you get on the frequencies and the mindsets of the great people in the world, that's when you start to form connections with them. First, just mentally. First, just like a thought. Everything starts with thoughts. Before any building was built, it was built in the creator's mind. Before you can drop a blueprint, you have to draw it up in your imagination. That's why Bob Proctor talks about 6 faculties: their imagination, will, reason, intuition. It's intuition is a very powerful force also, because how does the running back know whether to go left or right? The play is drawn up, but you can't just follow the play all the time. You have to use your instincts. Instincts is based upon both experience and something beyond experience, because if you've done something, 10,000 times, you kind of have an idea of what some of the patterns are, but some of it is just instinctual. Some people are great athletes just by instinct. They just know, how to move on a basketball court. They just know how to move on a football court. Some things can't be taught. Same thing with writing. You could teach a lot of things about writing, but there's some things, people are just natural. They're just gifted at it. So if you develop your intuition, your imagination, Einstein said that imagination is more powerful than knowledge. And, your reason, to be able to think things out, meditation's important, just observing your thoughts and getting in tune with your energy, and your intuition and your will. It's important not to force things, but it's important to have inspired action. You have to have some degree of persistence also. And so these are some of the things that if you want to work with someone like Oprah or Elon or Chamath, you really have to tap into their energy, your energy, and see what the connections might be.